Good evening, friend. We're beginning to run out of tales about me, but still, you seek them out. I cannot help but be touched. What tale do you think they have for you tonight?
Moriden Athluan.
Skyrim was not the only land to benefit from the mighty hands of the Dragonborn. Even the distant island of Solstheim, part of the ancient home of the Dunmeri people, was to feel the effects of his passing.
On the roads of Skyrim, Moriden had long been chased and hunted by a cult. This cult served a master whose name had long been lost to legend, the name of Miraak, the first Dragonborn.
Ah, this one. I should have realized.
Seeking only to stop the pursuit of his life, Moriden would travel to Solstheim to seek out this Miraak and silence him forever.
They have that part right, at least.
What he sought was not what he found. Instead, he found an island under siege, a people who moved as in a dream, and a Daedric lord who pulled the strings as a puppet.
Come now, and hear the tale of Moriden Athluan's time among the Skal, and of the fall of Miraak.
One of the shorter tales about me, but an important one. I learned things on that journey. Things that nobody should ever learn about themselves. Most of what they will tell you, well, better than most of their tales. The truth, though, the truth is not what the bards would have you believe. Three Rain's Hand, 4th Era, 202. At last, I received the call I'd been waiting for. I made for the barrow, only to find that something had gone seriously wrong. The bodies of miner and mercenary alike were spread across the camp, many of them dead only a few hours. I wondered what had happened, but the answer wasn't long in coming. A journal had been left behind, and I have found that this incident is not unique. Each time the digging had stopped, it was for the same reason. The miners and mercenaries hadn't just been killed, they'd been murdered, all so that Rallis could resurrect Azadal. I'd been right to be suspicious, but I hadn't thought that this would be the result. I'd wanted to kill Rallis anyway, and I suppose that hadn't changed. The reasons, perhaps, but not the result. I have a great many things to do in Kolbjorn Barrow, and it was waiting for me. I collected the final word of Cyclone, which, if I'm understanding it right, might be an even more powerful version of Unrelenting Force. I'll have to experiment with it before I bet my life on it, though. Descending through the barrow, I found 2 more pieces of what I presumed to be Azadal's armor, and then, just in time to watch him bring Azadal back to unlife, I found Rallis. The fight that came after was a difficult one. Azadal was no pushover, like the others on this island had been, summoning not merely Draugr but even Mora. Every time I had cleared one batch of its minions, another appeared, leaving me hard-pressed to get any attacks off on the priest himself. In time, though, I succeeded, and laid to rest the final dragon priest, which left Rallis. The little toad had the audacity to try to pull the "I was under someone else's control" excuse on me. This, despite several times, in his words, alluding to the fact that he was a true believer in Azadal. Despite my defeating him just moments before, I called him to account, demanding an explanation. He tried to put a pickaxe in my face. I buried my sword in his gut and twisted. So now I'm out 11,000 septims. The armor and displays are at least partially worth it, but the real prize is likely to still be further in. Hopefully, finally, I will get my answers. Not far beyond Azadal's chambers, I found it. This book is special, I think. No other pedestal has had this kind of appearance. Something about this part of Apocrypha is going to be different, special, important. My hands trembled as I took up the book and slowly opened it. For what would be the last time, I was pulled into Apocrypha to hopefully learn the truth of what I have been hearing for days now, to hear the voice of this woman who claimed that all I knew was some kind of lie or a twisted fabrication. I would not leave, I swore to myself, until I knew what she was speaking of and what it meant for me. This section reminded me of another of the books I'd been through, a long hallway that was shrouded in darkness so pure that to walk within it was to have your energy and life sucked away from you. This time, there are no wandering lights to make use of. Steeling myself, I stepped into the dark. Pain, such as I have only rarely encountered, made each step an eternity of torment. Moving even a few feet at a time took all the effort and will I could muster. Lord Mora was hiding something here. I knew it. I could feel it. I would not be denied. An eternity later, I reached the end. I stepped once again into the light. At first I was disappointed, incredulous. All of this for yet another of these triple-written books? Why, then, the eternal dark passage? Why, then, inflict such pain for this? I calmed myself and examined the book, thinking that perhaps this was something stronger, something more powerful than the other books had been. I read through it all 3 times, trying to sort what was useful from what was not, and found myself unable to be certain as to the other 2 versions of the book, whisked from my mind as soon as I turned the page. In time, I chose one of the 3 at random, hoping that this would be the key, that this would be what would allow me the knowledge I needed. Nothing more happened. I slumped to the ground, my back against the lectern on which the book was set. Defeated. Deprived of hope. A shout boiled out of me, a mix of rage, disappointment, and sorrow. The cries echoed into the eternal emptiness and died away. And then I looked up and saw another book, another way forward. Hope rekindled when I looked at its label, and it contained but a single word: Footnote. She was waiting for me on the other side. I never saw her, but her voice was clear. Her words were less so.
I am Ophelia, Prince of Powers, Editor of Fate. My name long forgotten by men and mer. Here for hundreds of years, I have been captive to Lord Mora. My knowledge of destiny made to serve his purposes. We have only moments before Lord Mora becomes aware of this meeting, so listen well. The princes have paid the price, and your fate has been changed. You are the child of Akatosh, and your fate has always been to defeat Alduin. In destroying Miraak, you have accepted the new destiny that I was forced to forge for you. Now, the dragon god has given up what he loves, you, to ensure that what must be comes to pass. You will return to Skyrim. You will perform one last task for the Daedric Lords. Seek the shadows, seek the betrayer, and when that is done...
She paused, as though the words she was about to speak were nearly too painful for her to speak.
And when that is done, know that your fate is nothing.
The voice faded away, and so did Apocrypha. With a mind full of words that still made only half sense to me, I left Kolbjorn Barrow behind me. I walked to Raven Rock, still running the words of Ophelia through my mind, over and over, seeking meaning. Some of it I understood. Perhaps enough that I could take action on it. The first part, though, that was clear enough. It was time to go home. It was time to return to Skyrim and the museum. Time to talk to Aryan and see what could be learned, what could be inferred, and what it was that I was destined for. I paid my fee, and the Northern Maiden set sail for Windhelm. As the shores of Solstheim fell behind me, I did not look back. Epilogue. My time on Solstheim had served a purpose. It simply had not been my own purpose. I had gone to silence a cult, get some peace of mind. Instead, I slew an ancient Dragonborn and had any chance of peace shattered. Though I would take the lesson that Miraak and Neloth had offered, that pride was a weapon only for those who sought your downfall, I would forever remember the fall of Miraak as the day that I, all unknowingly, had changed my destiny forever. Perform one last task of the Daedric Lords, she had said. That I had thought was clear enough. Only one lord had not yet entered and touched my life. She was a devious one, hiding in plain sight more often than not, such that only those who sought her out would find her. Had that not been enough, another phrase of this mysterious Ophelia made it even clearer. Seek the shadows. I would seek out and serve Lord Nocturnal. That I could do, but when it was over, I would show her, this Ophelia, whoever she is, that my fate was not to be nothing. My fate was mine to write, not hers, and I would fight her, or anyone else who dared say otherwise. But that is a tale for another time. There are few stories of me left, my friend. Expect to hear the last of the bard's tales when next we meet. Until then, I will be watching.